Hello, I'm Mariefiebach of FeedYourFamilyTonight.com, and today we are going to make one of my family's favorite snacks. We're going to make party mix. Some people call it Chex mix. We are using some Chex products, but I'm just going to call it party mix for today. You know, being home, my kids have wanted a lot of snacks, and when I was working on this recipe, they gobbled up all of my first batch. So I know that your kids will like this at home too. Basically, it starts with a bunch of different cereals and different fillings, and I'm going to use 4 cups of almost everything. So I'm going to start with 4 cups of cheese crackers. You don't have to be super precise with these measurements, but it helps. Then 4 cups of wheat squares cereal. I'm adding 4 cups of Cheerios or toasted oats. 4 cups of corn squares. And 4 cups of rice squares. Now after this, you can add other mixings. I like to add 2 cups of peanuts. You could use peanuts, you could use mixed nuts. If your family is nut-free, you can totally just omit this or add a couple of other cups of the cereal. And the cereals are kind of mix and match, so use what you have on hand. I like to have a variety though. It adds different flavors and textures. And then in the one that I made earlier, I used pretzels, but my friend Anne, when she makes party mix at Christmas time, she always uses bugles, and I love bugles, and so they're kind of a guilty pleasure, and so you can use 4 cups of bugles or pretzels if you'd like. If you use pretzels, you can use the sticks or the twists. They both work fine. The shape isn't super important. Now we're going to make the flavoring for this party mix. We're going to start with 1 cup of butter melted, and we're going to add 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce. I'm just going to measure that right in here. 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce, and I'm going to add a tablespoon of hot sauce. I like the Frank style hot sauce. If you're using something like a Tabasco or an extra spicy hot sauce, cut this down to 1/2 teaspoon. Taste it. If you want it a little spicier, add some more. But a tablespoon of this super vinegary hot sauce works really well. I'm going to open the lid so it's a little easier to pour. And you can see that I'm measuring really precisely. But a tablespoon, I have measured it, and that's what works. Then we're going to add the spices. I have here celery seed, onion powder, paprika, crushed red pepper flakes, and garlic powder. And it's 1 teaspoon of all of those except for the hot pepper flakes, and that's 1/2 teaspoon. This full recipe is at FeedYourFamilyTonight.com, so don't feel like you have to write it all down right now. I have 2 tablespoons of sesame seeds. Again, these are optional, but it really does add some texture to the party mix, and I really like it with the sesame seeds. And then I add 2 teaspoons of coarse sea salt. There's a lot of salt in the Worcestershire sauce, but this adds just a little bit extra salt. And I used unsalted butter, and so this adds salt. You want to mix this together really well before you pour it over the cereals, because you want that salt to get a chance to start to dissolve, and you don't want to get a clump of the spices on there because that doesn't taste good. So you want to make sure that you mix this mixture up really, really well. And again, I just do it in my measuring cup. And then you're going to just pour it over the cereal. And I just gently pour it over the cereal. And then I usually scoop a little in to kind of scrape out the last bits, because that's where all the yummy goodness is at the bottom of the measuring cup. And you're going to stir it. You're going to just stir really well to combine the mixture over all of the cereals. I've done this in a roasting pan. If you don't have a roasting pan, you can mix it in a big bowl and then put it on 2 small baking sheets. But this big roasting pan is my favorite way. You're going to bake this at 250 degrees for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and set a timer on your stove or on your phone, because every 15 minutes you want to go in and stir this so that everything gets evenly distributed and it doesn't burn on the bottom. After 1 hour and 15 minutes, you have party mix. It is yummy. you can keep this in the freezer if you feel like it's too big of a quantity for your family. It will freeze in a zip top bag for about 2 months, and you can pull out a little if you like smaller quantities. So for now, friends, thanks for joining us. I will see you in the Feed Your Family Tonight Facebook group. Take care.